Check 1 2.
To try and shade us to take control, but we the goats, we real, got soul to be the greatest, that is the goal. So go and judge me and slur my name. Yeah, G9 is what I became. Just judge my music, don't need the fame, but no LF goat is what I proclaim. When you're a goat, you just know it. We the black sheep, yeah, I suppose it's coming for us to just be different. Cause all my life I've been belligerent. I get so mad when they play ignorant, but that's what made us so magnificent. Yeah, we here and we chilling with the tribe. Got my grass and my hoodie and my light. Getting lit, come on, you know you wanna try. We doing good, bro, please don't kill my vibe. Said we here and we chilling with the tribe. Crypto underdogs, nah, I ain't gonna lie. So good they can't ignore even if they try. We'll never leave, it's LF go till we die. No, you'll never hear a mumble rap from me. These words I care, yeah, they have meaning. We in the matrix, but I'm intervening. About to pull you out, Neo, you've been dreaming. Find you in the song and want you to be freed. So get used to seeing goats up in your feet. It's guaranteed that we'll succeed. Come on, man, I know you've seen the term goat used on a TV. It's in sports and it's in music. There are lots of ways to use it to describe the best. The ones obsessed, that hidden quest. It's like we blessed. Boy, I'm like Santiago, I'm the alchemist. Travel the world and leave you all impressed. Become the wind, my spirit strong. I swear I'll prove them haters wrong. Show them we for real all along. Cause goats are great, the top's where we belong. Ozthecryptogoat, it means the other heart. Like yin and yang can't split apart. The dark from light, yeah, it's a balance. You only know this if you're like Alice and seek the knowledge down that rabbit hole. Two equal opposites that complete the soul.
All right. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with everyone you know. Welcome to the Ledger Lounge. This is Ozthecryptogoat, and we have a very, very special live today. We have the president of California's Stand With Crypto coming on the show. I've got my Stand With Crypto pin on right now, and I'm in chats with her. She should be on here shortly. In the meantime, everybody hit the like button. We do... How's everybody doing today? Do you guys like my new picture? I have the Christmas goat. Oz the Christmas goat. What's the name of the trust company? Angel Finance? In the meantime, hit the like button. Just working out some details with the guest right now. Please bear with me. I do apologize. I usually like to get all this done, but this is a very busy person. So we're trying to work with them as best we can. All right, we're back. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna bring down the music here and we're gonna talk a little bit. How's everybody doing, man? it's good to see everybody showing up. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Everybody double tap the screen if you're watching on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Those of you on X, don't forget to hit the chat. Those on Twitch, we're also live on Facebook. And we're live on X as well. I have all the chats pulled up, so you can watch and chat from any platform you like. People tend to use TikTok the most, but we have wherever you decide to find yourself, that's the place to be. Let's set up a Heart Me goal here on TikTok. Boom. All right. So we have a special guest today. It's Miss Nifty, Miss NFTY. She's the president of Stand with Crypto. She's going to be coming on, and so this is their website. This is standwithcrypto.org, and it says, if you care about crypto, it's time to prove it. 52 million Americans own crypto, and yet crypto's future in America remains uncertain. Congress is writing the rules as we speak, but they won't vote yes until they've heard from you. Join the fight, and you can click right here, right? So there, it looks like there's 2,623 U.S. advocates, 1,226 policymaker contacts, advocate donations. They've raised over $500,000, and globally they have 2.9 million crypto advocates. So these are the different. So look, it shows you someone in Washington emailed their rep. Someone in Washington followed SWC on X. Someone in Washington joined SWC. Obviously, that's Stand with Crypto. Someone in Utah joined. Nevada, California, Illinois. Someone in Illinois emailed their rep. So you can track everything that's going on with them, where it's happening, what they're doing. And as you can see, the big areas, I don't see anything in New York yet, but we have Connecticut, we got Virginia. This is around the DC area. Washington, California, Nevada. These are hot spots, right? So this is good, and the reach is growing. This lady has been on a plane for like days. I think it was like 6 days. We'll ask her, and she'll tell us everything. But it's been quite amazing to see all that they've been doing and all the work they do. So Stand with Crypto is first and foremost the result of 2 million plus people fighting to keep crypto in America. We also partnered with a number of companies to fight alongside us. So it looks like we got Privy, Protocol Labs, Paxos, Anchorage Digital, MoonPay, Coinbase, Third Web, Lightspark, all these different Kraken, BTC, Hedera, OpenSea. So they're partnered with all these different companies, which is pretty amazing. Let's see, let's go back here. So you can also, on the website here, this is standwithcrypto.org. You can join Stand with Crypto. You can email your senator. You can follow on X, and maybe we'll write an email in the next live show that we do. I'll write the email, and you guys can help me compose it. I'll be in and out for today. Had the worst day of all time. Oh, I know about your day, brother. Sorry to hear that, man. Glad you're okay and you're doing well. I'll tell you what, everybody simultaneously right now spam the chat with a W. How about SWC, stand with crypto? Everybody SWC in the chat. Hashtag FYP, hashtag for you, all the hashtag crypto. I do know that there's a bit of competition in the live time right now, so it is what it is. But you know, share the show out with your friends. Let's get the algorithm rolling and get more people watching, and we can get to our regular viewership levels. And before we start the show, if anyone has any questions or wants to come on the show and ask any questions, let me know in the chat and we'll see if we can work that out. Let's see here.
Competition within ourselves. LF Goat. Hey, go tribe. No drama, bitch.
I love this song.
I got no drama. Said I got no problems. Not a single distraction. Don't care about your trauma. What are you building? Said what are you doing?
Hashtag Goat Tribe.
Cause trust me, I'm suing. Every day I check the feed and see some dumb shit. Like someone rugging or they got a scam like fuck it. Somebody sleeping with somebody else.
The music's allowed on TikTok. I have the rights to this.
That's why you won't see me on your
have full permission to use this music.
directly to my face. They always be talking behind my back, bro. I really don't care. I'm just trying to stack. They tearing you down, they messing shit up. Don't think I can't take any more of this stuff. So remember to leave my name.
So if you have any questions or you want to come up on a panel, let me know. Anybody want to come up?
No drama. Leave it at the door. We don't care. We won't fight. This ain't a war. Keep it straight. Only business on our mind. No hate, no drama. We on the grind. On the grind, another day, another verse. Always getting better, I ain't getting any worse. Build you up, help you out how you meant. Also, you can pull this stupid little stint. Come on, man.
How's it going?
Play dumb and just take a hit. Stay your lane. Don't be a stain.
Hold on, let me adjust the volume here.
Can't take no more drama on our chain. So next time you think about spreading the rumor, just act your ways. Don't be say okay, boomer.
There, now I can hear you.
Have some humor, but holy shit, dude, I swear you're like a tumor. So I'm working, focus on my craft. You gon' talk, enjoy your little laugh, but I
Hold on, I gotta adjust the audio for you because what's going on?
I'm good. I'm sorry I missed your interview earlier today.
Oh, it hasn't started yet.
Oh, I thought it was at 3:00 California time.
No, that's the TA class, and that got rescheduled.
Oh, did I read the flyer wrong?
You may have. So the flyer is, the show starts at 5 p.m. and then the guest comes on at 6 to give a chance for people to come in so they don't miss out on the first part of the show. So do you know who the guest is?
I looked up Miss Nifty.
Yeah, or NFT. Why?
I'm not sure if I recall her. I may have heard her speak before.
Yeah. So I met her at this last crypto event I went to, and she's the president for Stand with Crypto in California. And this is their website right here, standwithcrypto.org. And it actually is a tool where you can email your senator directly. You can take polls, refer friends, mint an NFT, follow. But my main thing that I really like about this is the direct link to email your senator. Fix the camera. What do you mean fix the camera? What's wrong with the camera? You can't just say fix the camera in the chat. You got to tell me what's wrong.
Me, probably.
Aha. There it is. There you are.
Yeah, I just got done feeding my horse, so.
It's off center. Oh well. I really don't care if it's off center right now. I'm not gonna mess with it. It just is what it is. The IT guy comes in and cleans stuff, and sometimes the camera gets moved. It just is what it is.
Kind of cool. I'm down in the comment section. I mean, I feel like I'm in the lower bleachers or something.
I don't know why that is. Usually there's a bunch of different boxes here. I haven't used any of this software in so long. It's everything got updated. It's all different now.
It's all like Christmas.
I am so excited for Christmas. Did you see my new picture?
I think your guest sounds really cool. Like it's going to be a really interesting interview. Is Jessie going to join us?
I don't think Jessie's going to join us. She's been busy doing stuff. I'm hoping that she comes back to the show soon. But you know, it's the holidays and stuff, you know. But she's down there in the chat supporting. But yeah, I'm hoping to get the whole crew back together and get the crypto show going again, get more guests, and get everything rolling the way it was before we took the break, you know. It's been nice to have a little bit of a break though.
Epic. That'll be really nice.
So I have a question for you, Belle. Is there any questions that you would have for Miss Nifty as far as standing with crypto?
I want to know why we don't know more about it already. Why am I just hearing about it probably maybe for the first or second time?
Right, so exposure is what you're talking about.
Is this a large movement specifically just for California with our taxation?
So globally, there's 2.9 million people. You can see it right here on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. advocates is 2.6 million. There's 1.2 million policymaker contacts right here. And then they've donated about a little over 500,000 in donations. And look at, you just click this right here. Email your senators to pass crypto legislation. Boom. Click that, take action. Put your first name. Here, let's see here. Last name, email address. Your senator. This will show after you enter your email address.
Now, I may have heard about that like 6 months ago with a bunch of the XRP stuff that was going around. And the fear of California doing that clawback on any crypto in your accounts that stayed dormant for 3 years.
Oh yeah, for the wallets. Well, here's the thing on that. So they can reclaim those funds, but you can actually claim them back from the government. You just have to file. So it's actually a good thing. So let's say that you had a wallet that got lost, or you lost the keys to it, forgot how to access it. The government, after 3 years of inactivity, would basically claim those funds, remove them, and then you could file to get those back. It's just, you're going to have to jump through the hoops.
It sounds like something I might want to make a few posts on. And hello, Web3. Thank you so much.
Web3, I did put some posts out on Stand With Crypto. And if you want to reach out to Miss NFT, or Miss Nifty, excuse me, she's in my Discord right now. So click the Discord link in my bio. She should be hanging around in there, and you can ask questions or engage there. So click the Discord link. Let me see here. I'll post it in the chat for you guys. Give me just a second. I'm really excited about this this guest today, though. I wasn't 100% sure if they were going to make it, because we actually rescheduled a couple times, but we got it. We were able to make it happen. Let's see here. All right, copy.
Web3, you might want to share this out to a couple of your other bros and ladies that might be interested in that, or specifically people from California.
Exactly. And it's not just California, it's a global movement.
Yeah.
So it's more than just California. Obviously, she's the president of the California section of it, but still, hold on, I gotta fix everything. Everything moved around on me. All right, we're good.
Appreciate you, Jesse. We'll see you soon.
Trying to get on the Discord now. If you're having trouble getting into the Discord, send me a DM. I'll send you the link directly. Some people have issues. Some people get right in. I don't know what it is. And TikTok's not letting me post it. So I don't. Jesse, if you could go into the Ozthecryptogoat email, copy it, and then post it into the chat. I know you can do it. I just can't do it from a desktop. So,
and I have to drop from the box if I think she's gonna post or pin anything.
Got it. Did you have any other questions?
No, I just wanted to know a little bit more about her, and
Right, and
other things she's into, and how she got started in crypto very briefly, and what are her passion projects.
absolutely. And when she comes on, that's what we're going to talk about. And then I got a few questions as well. If she has time, I'm going to open the panel back up for you guys to come on and ask questions directly. If she's willing to do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so
another lady in crypto,
Exactly. There's actually more women in crypto than I realized. Like, I go to these events and I see lots of women at the booths, and they're not just paid actresses. They're involved. They're doing stuff. So you guys are not alone. Josh said, "Speed me up. I'm late." That's your own fault. You're late, Josh. That's why we start an hour early. We start early so that it gives you a chance to get caught up. But we will have our guest in a little bit.
I'm starting to wonder, what does she see for, AI coming online more? What changes does she see for the future kind of stuff,
Well, I know that as far as the legislative side of it goes, AI's untethered now. So,
which is scary.
Oh, it's very scary. At the same time, you're going to see things moving a lot faster now because of that. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, my little tiny business got dumped in SEO ad placement on Google and other sites since August, and AI is coming online and burying your stuff even deeper. It's like you're having to pay Google like ransom now to have your business propped up on page 1.
Yeah,
it's from page 1 to page 3 overnight.
If you copy the link from your link tree and paste it into join the server on Discord, it works. Got it. So you hear that, chat? Just click the link tree link and then paste it into join a server on Discord, and it should work. We can't hear her. All right. Let me turn up the audio. Sorry about that. Oops. All right, Belle, thank you for coming on, and we'll
I'm gonna drop down and let you talk to a few other people, but those would be some basic questions that would be on my mind at this moment.
Yeah, Web3, if you could drop that in the chat, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much for your help, and thank you, Belle, for coming on.
No problem. I thought if I hopped on, others would follow.
Yeah, it's always good to have you.
I love you guys. Thanks, Oz.
Bye.
I'll be listening. Bye.
What's up, Mr. Josh TV? How you doing, buddy?
What's up?
It's good to have you back on the show. It's been a while. How's your show
Yep.
coming along?
Well, I've done like 3 live streams so far. I'm not gonna lie, it gets pretty tiring. Now I know what you mean when I'm up there and like, I don't know, last time was streaming, I was up for like 12 hours and I haven't streamed since.
Dude, I told you, it is tough, right?
Yep.
Imagine doing it just 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 to 7 times a week, like that, just like clockwork. And then having something to say every time and be right. It's
Right.
it's difficult.
Exactly.
So what do you know about Stand with Crypto? Have you heard of it?
Not really. I've heard of other organizations, but not this one specifically.
So if you go to standwithcrypto.org, that's this page right here. And basically it says, if you care about crypto, it's time to prove it. 52 million Americans own crypto, and yet crypto's future in America remains uncertain. Congress is writing the rules as we speak, but they won't vote yes until they've heard from you. Now, we're going to pull this up and read what it is. So you can actually email your senator. You click on this link right here and it takes you can put your name, email address, and then it'll tell you who your senator is, and you can email them directly, which is pretty goated if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go do that.
Definitely read it before you sign it. That's one thing I would say for sure. I have not read it yet. What's up, Purple Bitcoin? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you.
Is this for the Clarity Act? I forget, because I'm pretty sure one already got passed, but they cut the other half of it out, right?
I'm not sure, and that's some of the questions that we're going to ask.
Right, because I was going over the kind of I'm pretty sure it was the Clarity Act while I was on stream, kind of going over what's in it, what things are important, what certain things meant.
Yeah, and I do think that we need some clarity. I think we need some legislation, but I think more or less we need more like a crypto constitution, something that protects us in a way that makes it so the government can't get too deep in it and can't start controlling it too much. Because the whole idea of crypto is to have the people in control of their finances, right? So
Right.
we don't want, the government to come in and overregulate it in a way that just creates control.
And that's like the biggest argument that I saw when they had people like Brad Garlinghouse and other people kind of talk to these congressmen and these senators. I'm not sure if you remember that. That was a while ago. That was like midsummer. And they were going back and forth arguing over, we want control. And then somebody else stood up and said, well, yeah, I agree. There should be some level of control, but not to the point where the government can come in and start treating this like, any sort of financial bank account.
Absolutely. My biggest concern is control, right? They could basically flip the switch
Right.
in the opposite direction and debank you with that kind of control. What are your thoughts?
Right. I think looking into it recently, so many people argue over the whole decentralized aspect of it, and like really looking into it in the last year or so, I've really begun to notice is that essentially everything runs on the exchanges because you're still exchanging for fiat. So everything is essentially still running on fiat. And basically, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that every single token is essentially still valued by fiat, because it has no value until you bring it over to an exchange and you cash it out for fiat. So in a sense, they could basically find out who holds certain types of wallets. And the problem is people say, okay, well, you can put it in a cold wallet, but if you ever bought Bitcoin on an exchange, that transaction from the exchange hold to your wallet is now a transaction. So they can link back because you upload your ID, you do KYC, and then they can track, okay, this person bought Bitcoin from this exchange, they moved it over to their cold wallet, then they took that Bitcoin from their cold wallet to a different exchange, but that exchange can look back and kind of see where that came from. And then, if we get to the point where the government can, I don't know, request some sort of file from these exchanges, like be like, we're looking into this person, we need you guys to hand over all the information, like who is this guy, their ID, all their information. And that's what I really don't want to happen, is when, the government can come in and basically force these exchanges to give out all that information, because then that crypto is now useless. I mean, they can ask them to freeze your assets, which a lot of chains, they can do that.
Yeah, XRP, Ledger can, HBAR, Ethereum. What's a couple others? There's a whole list of them. I actually posted them here on my TikTok. That lists all of the exchanges that you can basically be delisted or debanked from it. They can seize your assets. They all have some sort of smart contract written and slipped in there. And what's crazy is it's put in on a level where it was only found out that it was there through testing. So they would test the blockchains to see if it had any of this type of smart contracts. And all the big ones, man, they all have it in there. So it's a bit concerning. And it's not something that you can just look up and know that it's there. It's well hidden. So that's very concerning as well.
What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? Do you think that you feel a little bit safer with it, given that there isn't, I guess there's that extra level of, okay, it's the first token, and then also looking at it now, it's a lot harder to freeze somebody's Bitcoin address. But the only part that still doesn't make sense to me is I feel like they could just figure out what address belongs to who and just refuse to cash them out at an exchange. That's my only concern now. And I don't know if you've heard, there are certain people, there's a specific name for them, but you can basically send them the Bitcoin and they deliver cash straight to you. The only problem is obviously that's a lot more difficult, but I would like to see more options to pay for things with your crypto directly. That way you're not forced to bring it over to an exchange and cash it out for fiat.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying.
And I feel like holding stable coins, you can do that already, right? So if you're using USDC and let's say you're using Coinbase or you have like an Arculus wallet, Arculus has tap to pay. I have a Visa for my Coinbase. I don't use it because who wants to use Coinbase, right? But it does exist, but I can't spend like Bitcoin directly. I can't spend XRP directly. However, this company right here, it's this is their pin right here. I think it's XPX. I think is what it's called. I'm gonna try to get them on the show here soon as well. But they've only been running for about 16 months now, but it's basically a way that you can spend your XRP or your Bitcoin or your Ethereum as cash with a card. So that's a new technology that's just come out.
Interesting.
And I'm really excited to have him come on. And like I said, they've only been live and building for 16 months now. And it's growing very quickly. So I'm interested
I think more
to
and
see what
more.
happens with that.
I think that industry is just going to continue to get bigger because more and more people are kind of understanding, what's the point of crypto if everything is still going to translate through fiat at the back end, right? Like
Right.
obviously even gold bars are exchangeable through fiat, but you can still trade gold for other things. So I think just having the ability to pay for things with your coins directly instead of having to go cash it out for fiat first and then paying with fiat, and also I think it would boost the overall value of crypto. And I don't know. I think we're going to start to see more of that in 2026. I'm already seeing all of these crypto influencers, especially the ones you shouldn't really trust, like the ones that are always, the orchestrated pumps of cryptocurrencies and new projects. And they're basically saying that privacy is going to be the next thing, you know, which is true, but they're also promoting a bunch of fake privacy coins that don't really do anything privacy. And I think that's the only thing, and that's where I would like to see some sort of regulation, because I feel like nowadays anybody can make a team, make a coin, say it does certain things, and then when you actually look at the capabilities of it, it's all just headlines, for example.
I'm more along the lines of buyer beware, right? So you should be doing your own research. Like, are you just going to pick any bank to bank with, or are you going to look around and see, do I want to use a credit union? Do I want to use a small bank? Do I want to use a big bank? Do I want to use a business bank? You have to, have some kind of education in it. I think that more or less the people should take the time and learn. And, right now, crypto is like the Wild West, right? And
Right.
during the Wild West, people would sell products. And one of the issues that we had in the Wild West was medicine. So they had snake oil that they would sell to people. And I think it was like killing people, or it was just didn't do anything. But I think it was like, poisonous. They gave out opium, and people would get highly addicted to it, overdose on it. So the government stepped in and said, we're going to regulate this, right? We're going to go give
Right.
some good, clear clarity. But look at what happened over 100 years' time. Now we have big pharma, where it was designed to stop you from buying poison. And now big pharma only puts out poison. All the medicines, there's
Right.
nothing holistic anymore. There's nothing, that you can't, you can't go to your doctor and get holistic medicine. You have to get chemical based, that are all basically petroleum based products, that are poison for your body. And that's where we're at today now, because originally the intention was to help the people and to keep them safe and secure. But in the long run, that's not what we got. What we got was control to the point where a large corporation now and multiple corporations have control, and they can literally force you to take things now. And look at what happened with COVID. They forced everyone to take a shot in order to leave their homes and do things and stuff. So that's the fear that I have with overregulation. I love the idea of having some sort of regulation, but not in a way that gives them control, but more or less like a constitution for crypto. So that way,
Right.
the government can never overstep their boundaries, and crypto is protected. That is my main concern.
Essentially, like in a way, the best method forward would be basically freedom of choice, right? You have all these different crypto chains and people can choose which one they want to use to transact. Same way that I don't believe that the entire financial system should be shifted over to crypto completely. I think people should still have the choice to pay with regular fiat, if they want to use Cash App, because they should be able to have the choice to use what they want to use. And same with like medicine, and this is a really touchy subject, but there's a lot of natural plants out there that are being banned from being usable, right? So they're telling you what you can or can't use, which is, I would argue, opposite of the Constitution that we have now, and that's why it's so important that we defend the Constitution, and that's also the only reason why America still has arguably more freedom than other countries, even though that's somewhat falling apart to a degree. But the freedom of choice is what I think is going to be the most important in the long run. Because the minute that, like you said, the government can step in and tell people, okay, well, now you need to use this, then basically you have it to where everybody's using one thing. It's easier for them to control. And I think that's ultimately where, if that happened with crypto, I think it would fail.
I don't think it would fail. I think they would look at right now. Everybody is cheering on regulation because they're in hopes that it's going to pump their bags. And so how is that helping anything? Can we reel it in for a second and sit down and say, look, we want regulation, but this is the kind of regulation we want. Instead, everyone is like, I don't care what regulation it is, just get something in it so that way my bags will pump.
I think that's why I like Cardano's CEO, Charles, so much, because he was talking about this on a live stream the other day, where he was saying, look, I understand that, our chain arguably hasn't been performing as well as others. And he was explaining that's because he's not selling, his company out to these big institutional companies like all these other chains are. And he was talking about how everybody's trying to rush the process of regulation and adoption simply for the purpose of, pumping up the prices. And in a way, he was saying, like, when Cardano rolls out an update, it's good. It might take for forever, but it's good, right? So I completely agree. And it's less about the chain, right? And it isn't just, I want to be clear, because this isn't just because I hold a lot of the coin. I genuinely like Charles as the face of crypto because he is very aware about what's going on and he's talking about it all the time, right? He doesn't give you a bunch of false information. He just stands up there, he goes on live, and he talks about all the problems that we're facing and the things that need to be done correctly. And I think that's super important, because if we push it too far to the way these institutions want it, then we kind of lose the whole point of what crypto was designed for in the first place.
Absolutely. And that's my biggest fear, is losing the most beautiful opportunity that people have had in history financially, in my opinion. And we're giving it up, what, for some chump change, because we want our bags to pump now. We're impatient.
I think we need to see total, I would say organic growth would be better, because if you look past it all, the last cycles on the total market cap chart, it always comes up and then all the way back down before it goes back up. And we're never creating new floors, which tells you one thing, and that's that the overall market isn't gaining any sort of stability and growing. And that's the current issue, is whenever you push all of this adoption as news and you get all these people to front run the markets, they take it back out because there's still uncertainty. And then you're never making that new floor, and new people aren't going to come in because they don't necessarily trust it.
So do you think with regulation, more people would buy it and leave their money in it?
I think they would, partially because they've also, everybody's told growing up that it's important, right? Like, you need to have your money in a safe bank, this and that. I see it from social media, how people are talking, like they do want some regulation, but like you're saying, I think it's important that it doesn't overstep, because I also don't want the regulation to get to a point where we're doing all these things just because a couple people want them, and then it destroys the whole space for maybe a short-term 50% rise in the markets, right? Because you want overall sustained growth, kind of similar to the stock market. You know, the stock market doesn't lose half of its total market cap value in the form of 2 weeks, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And I think that's the issue is everyone is content with the uh, small pump now because their plan is to pull the money out. You know, they're not looking. I mean, some people are. They're looking to hold long term. You know, but some people are just like they think that they're going to put in $100 and come back in 6 months and be a millionaire. I think
I think that
the
type of mentality is also.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I forgot what I
Well,
was
I
going
was
to say.
just gonna say that I was just gonna say that type of mentality is kind of what destroys the crypto space, right? Because if that's what you tell people, I mean, I would say from now that I started trading more, I like the volatility, and I think even if crypto grows, there's still going to be more volatility than the stock market, which is good because, like we were talking about earlier, people have freedom of choice. They can use the stock market, they can use the crypto market, right? They can choose if they want more volatility or less volatility. But I think overall, if you look at it, um, I don't know, just telling people that they can put a small amount of money in and that it's going to go up, it just hurts the space. Because if we were to address it a little differently, I think also more people would trust it, right? If they saw stability. I mean, why do you think more people trust Bitcoin, even though there's more gains to be made elsewhere? Because it has a track record of going up every time. And we haven't seen that with these other chains, right? It's the biggest issue that Cardano is facing right now is that it made that one all-time high, and people want to see it go past above, because then they're seeing that, you know, original people who bought it are trusting it and they're coming back into the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where I come back to the idea of we're just really early. You know, there's a lot that needs to happen as far as trust, security, privacy, um, insurance. You know, knowing that if I put something here, you know, you put money in the bank and you know you're FDIC insured. You don't really have that with crypto.
Right.
So, you know, there has to be something that makes people feel like, okay, we're good. And I think that, you know, government regulation is something that does lead in the right direction. And like I said before, my main concern is that we lay the proper framework for that before we're just pushing through policies just to get anything through just so that the bags pump.
Right. And I think same goes too. I think more people there should be better tools to store your own crypto. Because I think another reason why these cryptos are so volatile, and you can look at on-chain data to back this up, is the fact that when everybody holds their coins on exchanges, they can move it around, they can do what they want. For instance, they can actually sell the coins that 1,000 people are holding to dump the market. And if these people want to cash out, they have enough fiat available to cash them out. So it's a mimic. You know, you could log into your Coinbase and it says that you have, you know, 1,000 XRP or 100 XRP, but they can sell your XRP and the number will stay there because they have the fiat reserves to pay you out if you want to cash out. And when people leave their money in exchanges, it allows them to move it around and manipulate the market. So I genuinely believe that if more people started holding more of their coins on their on private, you know, ledgers, wallets, I think there would be more stability in the market and more trust, because you see how Bitcoin's price starts pumping when exchanges move their Bitcoin back into a wallet. because that signals that they're not selling in the immediate short term.
Right.
So if everybody started moving more of their crypto over to wallets, that's trackable. It would show some strength, stability in the market, especially whales. I think that's what we need to see, more adoption and tools towards holding your own crypto.
What's up, Satoshi? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. What's going on?
It's good to see you, man. We got about 6 minutes before our guest comes on, so I'll let you say what you wanted to say, buddy.
Oh, that was Scotty Dog. What are we talking about? Moving your crypto to cold storage, or?
Oh, let me invite Scotty Dog up here real quick. So yeah, we're talking about regulation, basically. So we're having the president of Stand With Crypto come on in just a few minutes, and we're gonna talk about emailing our senators and basically getting people that advocate for crypto. All right, Scotty Dog, what's going on, brother?
Going on, Oz? What's up, boys?
And Run Up, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, what's good, Oz? Thanks for having me up. And
Absolutely.
Hey, everyone on the panel.
And if you guys want to stay up on the panel while we have the guest is going to be through Discord. And if you guys have questions throughout the interview, you guys are more than welcome to stay up and be a part of it. But Scotty, you want to go ahead?
No, I mean, I'll just sum up kind of my thoughts on this. Recently, I think we forget that crypto's still a toddler. And being that, I just do the analogy that when you look at a toddler, sure, you can have aspirations and thoughts of what that child is going to become, but you don't know. It takes a lot of investment and a lot of effort and a lot of commitment to guide and support. And I think maybe that's something you're getting at, where it's almost like everybody's a lot of the people in crypto right now that could be doing something to make a difference are sitting back and letting the foundational part of crypto, the decentralized, the ability to try and do something and have control yourself slip away. And that's what I meant by my comment in the chat. We're like lab rats just waiting for the players to use us to fine tune their takeover.
You know, one sentiment I've noticed when I bring up this subject is people say, well, the institutions are just going to do what they're going to do already. The big money's already got their hands in it. There's nothing we can do. And I think that that's very wrong. And that's why I'm really excited about this guest coming on, because I feel like this is an opportunity where we can have our voices heard. We can do something about it. You don't necessarily have to go and click this and use their predetermined letter. You can write a letter to your senator. You can write a letter to your congressman. You can get involved. Your voice can be heard. If 10 of us all emailed our congressman, that would create a ripple effect. You think that it doesn't matter, but it does, especially with primaries coming up. This is our opportunity to actually make a difference, because when primaries come up, they're afraid. You know, this is your one opportunity to have your voice be heard.
100%.
You don't want to be the person that doesn't even give a voice and then complaining about it after.
Yeah, and that's the majority of people. People want it to just be done for them. They just want it to happen for them. They don't want to literally click a website right here. It's this easy. Name, last name, email, address. Click your senator's name, and then they have a thing, and then boom, click send. It's that easy. It's that freaking easy, but you know, who's actually doing it? And it seems like the people, the sentiment is, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say. They're not going to listen to me. Run Up, did you have any thoughts real quick before I pull up Miss Nifty and we give her a chance to talk, and then I'll give you guys an opportunity to ask questions if you like?
Nope.
All right. So let's give her a call and oh shoot. We do video call. Let's get her on the show here. There we go. Like we're connecting. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. I've been having a great time listening to you for the last hour, chatting with the community, listening to the questions and concerns and things that they're doing and reading and seeing.
Absolutely. So, who are you? What do you do?
I am Carrie Miss Nifty Lynn. I am the president of Stand with Crypto California. I also am the founder of Learnville, which is an ed tech platform that provides education on 4 pillars to underserved communities nationwide. And those 4 pillars are financial literacy, mental health, Web3, and innovative career paths.
That's wonderful. And so tell me about Stand with Crypto and what it is, what's your mission, and what are you guys trying to do?
Sure. Stand with Crypto is a nonprofit collectively supported by the most reputable Web3 companies that exist. Its purpose is to deliver the message from the people to the policymakers to ensure that we have regulations, we have ideas and suggestions, and the foresight provided to our policymakers who have no career paths in Web3, but they have constituents that are very concerned about what is and isn't happening and what is coming in the future.
And so what is it that you guys are advocating? Because obviously you heard the sentiment here. We want regulation, but we don't want too much regulation.
And that is the point, right? We want to make sure that we're safe. We know that the government is not going to come and attack us. We won't be sued for something. And it's a safe space for us. However, we don't want them to say, well, now you can't invest in anything you want to, and we can freeze your accounts anytime you want to. You had a guest on there talking about that specific thing, right? If they know who you are and you KYC in a bank, if you will, right? A custodial account, and you move it over to a non-KYC account, and then you send it over, like, can they freeze it, or what will they do with it? And that is a big concern. And so that's a part of the message that we deliver to policymakers.
I love that.
And so, yeah, it's imperative. And we've gone through this last year and a half between constituents and policymakers to deliver messages in order to get through to the Genius Act and to the Clarity Act, which we're still working on very heavily. I will be back in DC next week talking to Congress and Congress members in regards to this. We want this taken care of. We want to feel safe. We want to know that we can start new businesses, we can launch new products, and we're not going to be worried about the government coming after us. And that's one of the things that the Clarity Act will give us, is a safe harbor period when you're starting a new business and you don't know what category you necessarily fit in. And you know, as an entrepreneur or anybody who's starting a new business, you have all of these different ideas, and you start with one idea and you go through this, you know, all of these different things. When you learn knowledge and then it changes a little bit of your goals for that business, and it shifts here, and here, you don't want to live in that fear that the government's going to come after you as you're growing your new business in this new innovative space that there's not a lot of regulation around.
Yeah, my like I said, and obviously you were listening, my biggest concern is being like debanked, being unable to access or use my crypto. Also, one of my concerns is overreach. And one of the
Yep.
things that I'd like to see more or less with crypto, as far as regulation goes, is obviously we need to have some sort of okay, this is the baseline right here, right? These are things you can and you can't do, right? So that there's some kind of control and regulation, but not so much for the people, but more or less for the exchanges. And to see more of like a constitution for crypto than less of like legislation, to where basically the constitution is in place to protect us, the people, from the government. And basically that would be the same concept, is a way to protect us, the people, from the government's overreach into crypto. That's something I'd like to see.
What would you see in a crypto constitution?
What do you mean, what guidelines?
Correct, right? Because you're using blockchain. So there's not a lot that you can really say, you can't do this, you can't do this, because everything is so transparent, you can find it. And if they are in control of stablecoins, for example, right, they are going to be responsible for what's going on and how they're operating and who's able to launch stablecoins.
Yeah, I think that there should be regulation for those that launch stablecoins. Like, I don't think I have any business launching my own goat coin or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think if Walmart and Amazon and all these different corporations are going to launch their own stablecoins, there needs to be some sort of oversight to basically not overfee charge people, because if everyone's got their own stablecoin and I've got USDC and now I got to transfer it from Amazon and now I got to transfer it to Walmart or whatever. Now we're talking about a new type of service charge, right? So I think that's one issue that needs to be addressed.
By the way, I'm taking note.
Oh, absolutely. And if you want to, we can get together. I'd love to write a constitution and have something that we could put together. This is obviously something we can't throw together on a 1-hour podcast, but I'd love to work on it.
Something that I've kind of toyed around with, along with some other organizations, is like a AAA, if you will, right? So certain hotels are rated, 5 diamond or star, I think it's diamond, 4 diamond, etc. That companies and tokens would be issued based on where they hit the mark on the prerequisites to be, credible, versus it's not really stable. Maybe this is just something that's going to come and go really swiftly. But that organization or association would be created by the people, which could do what you're talking about, right? Create this for the people crypto constitution and create this association that manages it and oversees it.
As long as they can't be bought and paid for.
Correct. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the big issue that everyone has with regulation, the sentiment because I've had this conversation many times, and they're like, oh, well, we're just the little guy. Nobody's going to listen to us. Nobody's going to do anything for us because we don't have the money. We don't have the backing. We don't have this. And it's just like, I can't. And I'm like, you can do something. You can let your voice be heard. That's what's beautiful about our country. And it's time we started standing up and doing something about it.
Yes. So something really amazing about Stand With Crypto is we organize in all 50 states. I mean, we're global community, if you will, right? So we have Australia, we have Canada, and I'm a part of the US one. And what we do, though, is we do IRL, a lot of IRL activations. I focus on experiential because I think that it's really important that we have a lot of touch points between each other to build stronger bonds, as online is online, right? We always have a community. We can always talk to each other online, but the IRL experiences, the wisdom, the empathy, and the love doesn't just come from online. It creates stronger bonds in person based on the interactions that we have and what we're experiencing together. So I really love experiential activations with our advocates. And that gives me an opportunity to learn more about our advocates, not just about, hey, these are my concerns as I'm building my business, or this is my concerns I'm buying and trading and selling crypto, but what is their thought process? What makes them be afraid of this versus that? What makes them excited about this versus that? And then I get to better understand them and what it is that they need from their policymakers and the government to protect them, and or be better prepared for things that may happen in the future when it comes to Web3 things such as crypto and AI. AI is a big thing as well. But learning more about an individual, not just about one subject, helps you learn more about their thought process and how they will deal with and address other things come future forward.
Yeah, one of the issues, sorry, I just had a mind blank right now. One of the issues that I have, shoot, what were we just talking about? Oh, I remember. The legislators, like on your website, it shows like who's pro crypto and who's not pro crypto.
Absolutely.
I would like to see maybe like a mission statement or something from these people that are pro crypto. What is their actual stance? Because I'm a firm believer that there are two sides to standing with crypto. There are those that want the machine to win, obviously, and have that full control, and there are those that want the people to have the control. So maybe clarifying that as well, it would be a good.
I am taking note of that, and I will say that our grades on policymakers strictly pertain to where they voted when it came to something crypto related, right? Are they supporting it? Are they voting yes? Are they helping to write and push forward regulation and safe legislation for us? Now, there is somewhat of a challenge when it comes to Dems and Republicans, simply because this administration, who happens to be Republican, is so pro-crypto, but also makes a lot of independent money by investing.
Man, thank you for helping me reach my live goal. Let's set a new goal here.
Something crypto related, right? Are they supporting it? Are they voting